Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today to talk about Empties. Now I'm really motivated to get this out of my life because I want to do a bit of a declutter and clean out. I'm in one of those moods where I'm like, let's get rid of shit that I don't need hanging around. So I'm really glad that I can get rid of this stuff now. So if you're not familiar with what an Empties is, I go through the products that I've used up in the last month or two and I let you know what I think about the product after completing it and whether or not I would repurchase it. All right, most of this is skincare because I've been going through a lot of skincare at the moment. Let's start with some big products and then move on to smaller products. I used up my Soap & Glory Sugar Crush Body Scrub. Now I remember loving this more than I currently love it. It wasn't bad. I love the scent of it. It smells like lime and it was just fresh and zingy and I want a perfume that smells like that. Do they do a perfume in this? Let me know. If they do, I want to get it. It's just really fresh and beautiful, but the scrubby element wasn't as scrubby as I wanted it to be. So would I repurchase this? Look, it wasn't expensive, so maybe, but I do remember it being a lot more coarse, that's the word, than it was. So I was a little bit disappointed, but I do love the scent. So I don't hate it. I don't love it. I would probably repurchase it, but I'm not rushing out to get it. All right, I've got two products from Kristens. Now, what do I feel about these? Originally, the first thing I tried from Kristens, which I still have, is a leave-in conditioner. I really like it. So I've since tried some more stuff and I'm not loving it. The Styling Reviving Dry Shampoo is okay. It's not amazing. It's okay. It doesn't leave too much of a white cast, but it doesn't refresh the hair as much as I would like it to. So I probably wouldn't repurchase this, but if I had it, I'd use it. Does that make sense? Hopefully. The thing I'd liked the least is this thing here. This is the Instant Exfoliating Scalp Scrub. Now, I thought, look, I don't have a scalp scrub. Do I need a scalp scrub? Probably not. Probably not. And this actually has a bit of product left in it, but I just don't want to use it. So essentially what you do is you take this off. It's got this big nozzle. You put it in your roots and squeeze product to the roots of your hair. And then you go in and you sort of scrub your scalp, rinse it off. It's almost like a salt scrub. For some reason it had glitter in it. I don't know why there's a shit ton of glitter in this. And it just pulls at the bottom of my shower. I have tried like shower gels and stuff like that that have glitter in them. And that's more of like, it looks pretty, it's an experience, but theoretically you're not supposed to see this. You're supposed to put it directly to your scalp and you're not even supposed to see the product. So I don't know why it leaves big glitter chunks or why it's got big glitter chunks. I don't understand. The product didn't do much for me. I found it was so thick that it was actually hard to massage into your hair. And the one good thing is that it does emulsify, so the product does leave your hair entirely. I was worried that it was so thick that maybe what it will do is just like stay in your hair. It did remove very well, but I didn't see any benefit to this and I don't get it. I don't get any part of it. All right, some face cleansing products. I used up a micellar water from Bioderma. I use this every morning to cleanse my face and I will continue to do that because I have repurchased this. I will continue to repurchase it because it's my favorite micellar water and it works really well like I shower at night. I remove my makeup, wash my hair, do whatever at night, and then I use this just in the morning just to sort of wipe away any overnight products that I've got on, any oils that have sort of come throughout the night, and I think this works a treat. I love it. So yes, I have repurchased that. Oh, I really love this Clarisonic Refreshing Gel Cleanser. Unfortunately, Clarisonic is no longer a thing, so they've closed down, and I'm going to assume that means they will not be releasing any more cleansers, but I really enjoyed this. It's called Refreshing Gel Cleanser, and that's exactly what it was. It was a sort of light gel cleanser that gave you a light foam, but it felt really refreshing. The smell was quite aquatic and quite fresh. I really liked it. It made your skin feel really clean, but not stripped. So Refreshing Gel Cleanser is a perfect descriptor for this, and I really did enjoy it. I really, really enjoyed this, and I'm sad to see it go. It was also really nice on a bit of a loofah as on the body. It just went, like a small amount went a long way, and it was just really fresh and clean and beautiful. And I would totally repurchase this, but they've closed down. So if you can find this and you see it on sale, just pick it up because it's a beautiful gel cleanser. I used up the Goldfaden MD Doctor's Scrub. Now I did like this. So it's a ruby crystal microderm exfoliator. When you hear brands talk about microderm exfoliators, it means that it's a very, very fine scrub, but there's a lot of scrubby particles. So it's a very dense scrub, but it's a very fine scrub, so it's not very coarse. So you pick up a little bit, you put on your face, and it sort of feels like a really micro sandpaper effect. This is probably a little bit too harsh for my aging skin. As you get into your 30s, you should switch to a chemical exfoliator because it's better for your skin. But I did enjoy this, and if I saw it on sale, I'd pick it up again. But again, it's probably a little bit too harsh for my skin, so I wouldn't go and repurchase it full price or straight away, but I did enjoy it. I used up 2 of these products. So these are, and I've actually repurchased 2. So that's how much I enjoy this. It's a La Roche-Posay Cycoplast Balm B5. They only come in these small tubes. I wish they came in massive tubes. I actually didn't use these up completely myself. I use these on my baby. So my baby gets dribble rash because he's a dribbler. And I put this on his chin every time I change him, and it clears it up really well and keeps it under control. It's the most effective cream I've used on him for his rash, and it is great. I also know someone who uses it on their baby who has eczema, and it works a treat. So yeah, I've used up 2. I've repurchased 2. I also use it on my contact dermatitis. So I do use it. It's lovely. It works a treat. It works really well. Oh, isn't it great when you can sort of group brands? I really enjoy it. So these are from The Ordinary. I've got the Caffeine Solution 5% EGCG. This is actually an eye product, like an eye serum, supposed to help with puffiness. I use this, I actually use this up in a body lotion. Now, hear me out. I was on Instagram and there was a brand promoting like a firming body lotion, and when I was looking at the ingredients, essentially it was a body lotion with caffeine solution in it, and I thought, I've got a caffeine solution. I don't use products under my eye because I'm too lazy, and I also don't have really puffiness. I have a little bit of like darkness. I just use a concealer. That's all I do. So I use this up by mixing it into my body lotion. I didn't see any firming, but yeah, it is what it is. I wouldn't repurchase it because I don't use products under my eyes. But if you do have puffiness, I have heard that this works well. I also used up the 100% organic cold pressed rose hip seed oil. I enjoyed this. I have repurchased it. I think it's a really nice basic rosehip seed oil. It works well at sort of nourishing the skin, plumping the skin. I also find having oily skin, this sort of helps balance out your oil production. So the more good oils you put on your skin, the more it tricks your skin into thinking, I don't need to produce my own. So I find that when I do introduce these types of products into my skincare routine, my oil production is reduced, and also any scarring or any issues from blemishes clears up really well. So I love these products. I have repurchased this one. All right, a few more sort of skincare items, and then I'll talk about Project Pan stuff. All right, I used up another serum. This is the Dear Claire's Midnight Blue Youth Activating Drop. Didn't see anything exciting about this, but it is a EGF peptide treatment. EGF treatments generally work pretty well on me, so I don't know why this one I didn't see any great results, but oh well, I probably wouldn't repurchase it. But there you go. I used up the Dr. Jart. This is the Ceramidin hand cream. I quite like this. I had it in my car. It was a nice hand cream. It did have a bit of a herbal scent to it, so it wasn't my favorite scent, but it worked really nicely. It wasn't super greasy, and it did nourish the hands, which was good. I like how we go from like serious hand cream to funny hand cream. This hand cream is Tony Moly. It's the banana hand milk, and I quite like this. It was a banana scented hand cream. You sort of squeeze it out like this. It's gone, obviously. I like this in my bag. It worked well. I enjoyed it. I would repurchase this. I like it. I used up this Fourth Ray Beauty Watermelon Face Milk. I don't get face milks. They're essentially like a watered down moisturizer. It's like a lotion for your face that you put underneath your moisturizer. I don't know. It's not for me. I don't get the point of it. It didn't seem to do anything that a moisturizer doesn't do. Yeah, I think these are a bit of a gimmick, so I would not repurchase that. I used up, this is my Lush Toffee Apple Lip Scrub. This was from the Halloween collection. I loved the green part of it. So essentially this is a lip scrub that was divided into 2 flavors. There was a green part, which was like a sour, really delicious scent, taste, whatever, and a red part that was more I don't know, I didn't like it as much. It's a little bit more sweet, a little bit more tacky. So I do like these lip scrubs from Lush. Essentially what you do is it's like a sugar lip scrub in like oils and flavor. You take a little bit, exfoliate your lips. You can remove like a lipstick or just exfoliate any dead skin. And then you can either remove it or lick it off, and it tastes delicious. And the way I use this up so fast was I'd use some on my lips, lick it off and be like, that's delicious. Now some in the mouth. So I ate this. I half ate this, half used this, so that's why it went so quickly, but it was a nice experience. All right, onto Project Pan stuff, and this is the last couple of Project Pan check-ins. So if you haven't seen my Project Pan update, the last video that should be up is my Project Pan update. In that I used up this Shiramura. This is the Skin Perfector Shobu Makeup Refresher Mist. I really like these products, but I don't like this scent too much. So I much prefer the yellow one, which is a yuzu citrus, I believe, or the pink one, which is a cherry blossom one. They smell fantastic, but the finishing mist is really, really beautiful. It's a micro mister. It does have a layer of oil and then the liquid, so you shake it up, gives you a little bit of hydration. It settles the makeup down really nicely, and you don't get those like splodges of liquid on your face because it's such a fine micro mist. If you do it quite far away, it almost doesn't feel like anything. If you get up nice and close, this has a little bit left in it. Yes. Feels so nice and refreshing. Give me more, give me more. I do love these, and I would repurchase this type of finishing spray. It's one of my favorites. But again, I wouldn't repurchase this scent. There's 4 scents. They're for different seasons. This one's my least favorite, followed by the green, my 2 favorite, pink and yellow. They're amazing. Then on to makeup. I use this YSL Stick Foundation. Look, this was really handy to have. I like having a stick foundation just for days where I want to quickly put something on, blend it out, and just have a thin layer where I'm not having to use a sponge or anything too complicated. It's really easy, especially with a baby. But I didn't love this formula. I found it sort of looked a little bit patchy on my skin for some reason. It didn't look nice and smooth and even. There was definitely some patchiness going on. It might just be that it's not suited for oily skin. But yeah, I liked having it, but I wouldn't repurchase this one. It's not worth it in my opinion, but the color match was really nice for me. It was in the shade Warm Ivory, which was really good as like a winter shade for me. So I did enjoy, I did like using it, but I wouldn't repurchase it. Something that I would repurchase, the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer and my shade is Light. I've actually got a backup of this and also one that I currently have open. So it's my favorite concealer, have repurchased, will continue to repurchase. I love it. I think it works a treat. It's so good under the eyes. If you've got oily skin, it does set. So if you have like really dry skin, probably not the best for you, but it also works really well on like spots or the face. I like to keep one of these in my handbag. So if my makeup's breaking down and I'm out of the house, just put a little bit on, sort of dab it on, and it just blends it all together. The good thing about this concealer is that it works with every base and every powder that I've tried. So other concealers might like separate or ball up with certain powders or not sit well over certain foundations. This works on everything, and it's sort of my yardstick for a good concealer. If something is high end or expensive and doesn't do as well as this, I don't see the point of it. I always go back to this. It's affordable, it's fantastic, I love it. I used up the Rimmel Stay Matte Transparent Powder. I've used up heaps of these in my time. I've got one currently in my Project Pan that I'm also using up. Now I have used up heaps of these over the years, and I had a couple at the back of my drawer, and that's what I'm sort of working through at the moment. I think this is my last one, I think, or second last, I'm not sure. But these, I don't know if I would repurchase them at my stage in life. These are pretty cheap and nasty, but they work well at controlling oils, but they're not super refined and they don't do amazing things for the look of your skin. So if you have skin issues like, I don't know, fine lines or texture or whatever, this is not going to perfect your skin. It's just going to set your makeup so you're not oily. And for that, it works fine. But for me, I think I'm getting a bit too old for it. From my powder, I want a little bit more than what this offers. So I'm at a stage of life where I'd prefer to spend a little bit more on a product that makes me look better than use just a cheap and nasty powder that sets your makeup. I think this is great if you're younger and you've got oily skin because it does the job and your skin is already looking good. But as I'm getting a bit older, I like this less and less. So yeah, I probably wouldn't repurchase it, but I do have another one that I'm currently working through. I used up a Nabla Major Pleasure mascara. This wasn't a bad mascara. It wasn't fantastic. The wand did gather a bit of product at the end, which was a little bit annoying, but it worked well. It volumized. It, you know, probably didn't hold a curl super well, but it did lengthen and volumize. It was fine. It lasted a long time. I used this for months and months and months. Not my favorite mascara I've tried, but a pretty solid mascara. So would I repurchase it? Probably not. I want to move on to something else. But if I had this in my collection again, I would happily use it because there's no issues with it. It just wasn't as good as other things I've tried, if that makes sense. Laura Mercier, this is the Caviar stick in rose gold. Yeah, I didn't love the color of this. I used it as an eyeshadow base because I didn't love the color. And it worked pretty well as an eyeshadow base. I didn't have any issues with eyeshadows creasing, which was good, but I wouldn't buy this as a base because they're pretty expensive. It's best to find a color you enjoy and use it as a cream eyeshadow. Au Natural is a beautiful shade that I'm currently using and I much prefer it over this. So I like the formula. I don't love the color of this one. It was like a light champagne. It looked a little bit wishy-washy on me. So yeah, I didn't love it. Last two things are some brow products. I've got the Nabla Brow Divine Pencil in Neptune. So this is a micro brow pencil with a spoolie on one end, and it worked fine. I'm using Jupiter at the moment in my brows, so it's a little bit darker. Had no problem with it. I think I actually prefer the texture of the Benefit Precisely My Brows. I think that is a little bit firmer and gives a better sort of like drawn in brow effect. But this was quite nice. Happy to use it, no problems, but I wouldn't run out and repurchase it. It's not like my holy grail. The last thing is the Goof Proof Brow Pencil from Benefit. This is in the shade 2. I used it up because it was too light for me, but I did quite like using this on low makeup days just to sort of fill in a little bit of color to my brows without making them too dark and too prominent. If I was in the market for a lighter brow pencil, I would totally repurchase this. But my shade that I normally go for is more like 3.5. So it was a little bit light for me, but it worked well. So yeah, I like this. All right, that wasn't actually the last thing. These were the last things, but I won't bore you with going through each of my samples. But I did use up a bunch of samples. Nothing really stood out as being like amazing and worth noting. So I won't pull any out and be like, yeah, this is great. But yeah, I'm trying to use up as many samples as possible recently. And yeah, these are some of my samples. All right, so those were all the products that I used up over the last couple of months and what I thought about them. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you missed any of the names of the products and you wanted to know what they were, I will list all the products in the description box. And I hope you guys have a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.